Wow, a beautiful day. I'm telling you, wonderful day out here in the city of Bread of the Law, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Beautiful weather. It was just so mind boggling when I came out and just enjoying it. Great, great, great weather today. But it's good to be back here on another presentation of the Issues Room broadcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. We come your way 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11 p.m. in Liberia and those countries within the Greenwich time zone. That will include the United Kingdom. This evening is our 142nd broadcast. We'd like to welcome you. A great conversation here tonight. We're going to be featuring Memory Lane by Dr. Eman Sumo. He has a new production he did and dedicated it to the Issues Room. We'll be looking at that, and then we'll come in with our what type of country is this. I talked to a brother today who said he has a boatload of what type of country is this. I'm sure my colleagues Alphonso and Moses themselves over the last several days have also contemplated some new what type of country is this. This evening we'll be looking at an array of things, but importantly the voters registration process currently taking place in the country, and Yeka Koluba sound the whistle the other day when he said he had in his possession WhatsApp communication between a lady who represents the CDC but was working or contractor by the Elections Commission who was doing voter registration, and called on Chairman Moba Molu, the chairperson of the Grand Coalition for Democratic Change, and ask him, send the people my way, send the people my way. We got to make sure we move Yaka Koluba. Send the people my way. Let me register those first-time voters. And that was the conversation, and we have that in our possession. We'll be looking at the situation. We'll also be looking at the situation with the UL professors who have not gotten any retirement funds for the last 5 months since they retired. More conversation will be kept on that. Can you imagine people who are educated, serve the country well, educated, the very politicians, and yet they're left on the sidewalk? Uh, Moses, good evening. Alfonso, good evening. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good evening. Like you saw earlier, the weather is very nice at my end here today too. We gradually heading now towards the summer, so things are beginning to pick up for the best. Uh, I had a great time out there. So, like you, Alfonso, and Volcano, is always a pleasure being here. And tonight we have come to educate and entertain as well. What type of country is this?
Yep, and we'll be talking
Yeah,
about a lot of those things. Alfonso.
yeah. No, guys, thank you. Great to be with you again. We have a lot of fascinating things to talk about. You mentioned the election situation in our country. I can't say this enough. Having free, fair, democratic, credible elections in Liberia is extremely, extremely critical to the future of our country and to our fragile peace.
Well, in fact, I'm wearing one of my Maxwell Kimaya.
Yeah. No, my man.
I call it the Maxwell Kimaya because it's the full button jacket, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was what I think he was
No,
wearing
but
10
I
buttons.
think I
no,
think
but yours
Kamaya
is
has
smarter than mine.
Kamaya has
Mine's fitted. Mine's fitted.
Kamaya, yeah,
But,
Kamaya
but,
has
but, but Maxwell was wearing 10 button, and it
yeah,
came all the way down to his the Chris Boone. Hey, you know what they call Chris Boone? Like, bro?
15 button, yeah.
His shoe was long all the way down to his Chris Boone.
Yeah,
But
man.
gentlemen, good to be back here. Fortune you, welcome. Good evening. It's a pleasure having you in the house. Tommy Noseby or Noseby. Let me call it a real country way. Tommy Noseby. He says greetings from Acela Metal Concession rather
Oh,
in
wow.
Yekepa
It's way
City,
up
Nima
there.
County. Good to see you here, my brother, for the first time. Make the issues room a place to be. This is where we are the alternative, discussing the things that matter to our country. Moses was in the trending news column there. I know that Donald Trump went to his hearing this morning or afternoon, whatever the
Afternoon.
time was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw footages where his convoy. I saw his airplane. I mean, the boss still got his own plane, my man. What are you
The
talking?
bug got everything set up, man. The man playing, he has a plane that carries his name, Trump. And,
Yeah.
it tells you that he's still, standing tall. But the situation with the former president, the former U.S. president, is a global news. Like you said, he appeared today at the lower court in Manhattan, New York, where he pleaded not guilty. Uh,
But you ever, Moses? You
sorry,
ever
yeah.
seen anyone? You ever seen anyone pleaded guilty?
Okay.
Our man Witherspoon said not guilty. Who you not see plead guilty? Hey man, go
but,
ahead.
but sometimes but man, sometimes when people are convinced that hey man, this is gonna be a losing battle, right? Alfonso, it was my man, it doesn't worth it. Let me just plead guilty. So Mr. Trump is fighting 34 counts or 34 charges, including federal charges. And there are also other charges which had to do with, making payment to two ladies, which they call horse money.
Hush,
During the
hush.
horse money, he
Close
made
your
it.
mouth.
Yeah, he made he allegedly paid two women during the 2016 presidential election in the United States. That hey man, you need to keep quiet.
Play your low.
Play alone, Finna, play alone. So the former president, reportedly did that. He has, like I said, pleaded not guilty. He's the first former president of the United States to be indicted. Indictment is not a conviction. It's a legal process. It tells that the prosecutors are convinced that they have enough evidence to go to court. So when you are indicted, is that hey, the prosecutors are determined to make sure that they get to the end of the matter, that they believe that they have enough.
And also, what I heard is that he might be going to trial next year, and next year is the elections year. So I don't know if it is. Listen, they're just saying my man Gary, my man, because the man wants to run again. So will he be eligible with this pending trial? Because I
Well,
understand the trial could be 8 to 9 months down the road.
let's see how the legal process is going to play out, and
But I seen in the
because
bill, our man Samuel Kyle.
So yeah, if I may
yeah,
come in here, so the
so if
just
I could just wrap it quickly, Alfonso, and I will
yeah,
give it
sure,
to you. So,
definitely.
like what I was saying, depending on the legal process goes, he may or he may not. He also run the risks of going to jail for 10 to 20 years if convicted, because there are felony charges, which had to do with the falsification of business records. So if the prosecutors can convince the court, then the former president should just say, "Hey man, farewell to the coming election." Volcano, Alfonso, I give it to you.
Yeah. Thank you,
Mhm.
guys. I
Yeah.
think the indictment of Mr. Donald Trump, former president of the United States of America, is very, very important today on several fronts. One, it really laid the foundation. It really speaks to the foundation of U.S. law and democracy, that nobody is above the law. No matter who you are, if you're alleged to have committed a crime, you will be indicted, you will be brought before the law. And of course, you have a presumption of innocence, but you'll be brought to trial, and you'll be treated like anybody else. So I think that's critical, and I hope across the board that can be that concept will not just remain theory. It will be implemented in many places. Specifically on Mr. Trump, the indictment today are state charges. So there's nothing in the U.S. Constitution or U.S. law that would prevent him from running for office while this trial is going on, and we all know the next hearing will be in December, and then the 4 months after that. So it will be really around the time that he can campaign. It's entirely possible that he could be in court, undergoing prosecution, run for president, and win the presidency.
And
But
that could
but
potentially
don't
carry
forget
his
that there
stock
are
up,
felony
right?
charges against him.
Right? Right?
Yeah,
That could
but
You
potentially
know,
carry
yeah,
his stock up.
yeah. So under U.S. law, my understanding is the only time anybody can be prevented from running for office or holding office is if you are charged with sedition. If you're charged and convicted of
okay, but
sedition.
if you are
Now,
convicted of felony, do you
so
still qualify?
yes, there's nothing in the Constitution that prevents you from running for president,
Okay.
while you are, while you're in court or while you're convicted. But this, he will not, the case would not have concluded before the election.
Absolutely. And he will have the opportunity to even at the lower court say, I'm kicking
Yeah,
it up to the Supreme Court.
yeah. It's
Right?
unlikely that the case will conclude before the elections. So he can run. He can be president of the United States of America while he's being prosecuted, while facing prosecution. Now it can become a political issue where voters and people in his own political party can say, "Hey, we can't deal with this. We don't want to deal with this. This man will be ineffective. Why do we want to elect somebody who's undergoing all of these, court cases and decide not to vote for him?" So it can have a political implication as well.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
in fact, Mr. Trump himself has already started shouting, that hey, this is a political ploy,
Mhm,
aimed at getting at men. So
mhm.
I know Volcano, you were also go to Liberia, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's sufficient now for
yeah,
Trump.
we got we got good news from Liberia today. I think this is good for the democratic process, the ongoing democratic process in Liberia. So we should say hats off to the ruling party in the various political parties in the country. Today, representatives of the ruling party headed by President George Weah and representatives of oppositional political parties, they signed a pact, they signed an agreement that committed everybody to ensuring that the ongoing electoral process will be free of violence. So this guy committed to ensuring peace and stability in Liberia. I think that's commendable.
All right, don't be too quick to commend it because people are already campaigning. As you can see, bunch of women's in Bombing County singing and jumping all over the place. They were we are. And then one of the voter registration places out there, I believe it was in Cape Mount, where
Mhm.
a guy was manhandled. One of the representatives there, Simeon, and one Bobby something, and Henson, they went to the uh, lady and asked her how many people registered, and it turned sour. And this guy
Mhm,
was manhandled, bust his mouth up. So I
mhm,
guess so many of these things end with the issues we're going to be talking about tonight and the constant harassment or attempted attacks on District Number 10, Yeka Kolubai and his followers by alleged seditions. All of these things are probably the reason why this president, knowing the potential for this to turn sour on all sides, is coming down. But I'm not sure how would CDC keep the peace.
mhm.
How would they respect the electoral governance process? Because it's important. We're not in campaign. We're registering. We're getting things set. They have not officially declared campaign, but as you can see, these people are all over the place, parading in the regalia, in the paraphernalias, and all of that. And they continue to circumvent the process of what they claim to be signing. So, I mean, I just thought to throw that in.
No, no, that's important for Kano. So it's one thing to sign, agreements and documents all over the place saying that you're committed to peace. And it's another thing to actually demonstrate that through your actions, and through the things that you do. It's important that they sign this document first of all, we because now we have something additional to hold them to say, hey, you signed this. But more than that, they have to demonstrate their commitment to keeping the peace by making the process free and fair and void of the tension and the violence that they are creating. I did see that report you referenced in Grand Cape Mount, where the guy was beaten and brutalized and hurt under the as assumption by, according to him, by this senator from Cape Mount and others, because they believe that he was bringing people from across the border in Sierra Leone to come and register. That's another issue. Was he actually bringing people from across Sierra Leone? Are people bringing people from across Sierra Leone and neighboring countries to come and register who are not citizens? These are serious issues that need to be addressed. So signing a document is great, but addressing those issues, those concerns is really important, because at the end of the day, those are the things that will lead people to determine whether or not the election was fair. And if people believe the election is not fair, you can sign all the documents you want, they will react.
And even he went on to say, "You're challenging me. This is my county. I own this county." You
Mhm.
know, when I mean, tell me now, and you coming with men who are armed, of course the lady will give in. She said she had to give in, turn the machine on and tell him how many people have voted. But was it rather in his place? You know, so think about it from that perspective. We
Mhm.
can have people who are already in leadership role and who are occupying a branch of the government, you know, going into these places where the electoral process is ongoing, voter registration, and then try to infiltrate and use muscles
Yep.
to be able to determine how many seditions are registering, how many ANC people, and how it just doesn't make sense to me.
Absolutely, I agree. But what I would like to say that I think there is a very good strategy by opposition political, parties to hold the ruling administration to its feet, because now the international community is aware that Mr. Weir affixed his signature to a document which promised that, hey, there will be peace in Liberia. We will do everything to make sure that this process will go on, without the intimidation of people, without the violation of the electoral laws and all of that. So I think we should give it a chance and see how it plays out. Obviously, uh, the ruling administration is now under the watchful eyes of Liberians and the international community. And lastly, let me throw this out there. Uh, when you work for institutions after a given period of time, you retire. But in the situation of Liberia, especially at the University of Liberia, it seems that a retirement is a curse. Professors who serve the University of Liberia, some serve for 40 years, 35 years, 45 years. I had the opportunity of watching the video, and the retired professors went on the campus of the university, and they said they've been struggling for months to even have audience with the president of the university. For the 5 months, they have received no compensation. The lowest pay. I mean, I just couldn't wrap my head around that. Someone who served in university for 45 years, earning $100 a month. Volcano, that's heartbreaking, man. $100 a month.
And now the photocopy, oh, not the real fresh noodle.
I mean, you probably on a lot of.
Oh, no, but seriously, Moses, when they get the people the money, you know what? If you make me get out
Yeah.
of this studio and go come back, I will show you all the notes that is sent to me that I cannot use,
Can
and
you
I seen
imagine that,
the
my man?
notes they will give them. I'm telling you. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I'll
Yeah.
give you the go
So,
ahead.
so the value of
Understood.
the money The
Yeah.
condition of the money,
Yeah.
how mutilated the money is not even valued. So the $100, it says it's $100, but when they go to change it, the money changer will say, I'll change it for 80 because the money is correct.
But
so that $20 already,
$20
all the
more,
money.
Then
right?
it boss walking away.
Yeah, but more than that, gentlemen, not only are
Yeah.
they getting $100, $150 a month for their retirement, the pension benefit.
But
They're
hold
not,
on, guys. Hold
they're not-
on. Somebody's asking, what's the retirement age in Liberia? I think that 80 or you gotta be 80 years old.
the worst is that they're not even getting the money. So
not.
they actually went on a university campus to demand a meeting with the president of the university because according to them, they haven't gotten paid. They haven't got, for more than 5 months. How do you expect somebody to survive, feed themselves and their families if they don't get the pay that they depend on? That's very inhumane, and cruel. I don't know how else to describe it. So it's you said, you were trying to describe a retirement. Retirement. When you retire, you go. I think retirement is like a death sentence in Liberia.
It's taboo. It's taboo.
It is.
Yeah.
And the retirement age is actually 80 because that's what Baka is his last 2 years, because he's 78. He still needs to work. Now he want to be.
So you see why back home people continue to work even in the late 70s. Because when you retire, it's like you're off the radar.
But imagine, Moses, some of the people who are watchmen.
Yeah.
The man already 80 years old. So when the Zogo man kind of sleep, just lay down there and say, my man, just go do your thing. Because he's frail. He doesn't even have the energy or the strength to wake up. The Papa just wants something to say, I got a job to go to.
Yeah.
Whatever small thing they give me, that is small thing I will operate with. But that's the situation. But Moses, thank you so much. Let's start this conversation. Again, we've been talking about the importance of our national elections coming up in October on the 10th. We haven't gone so far, but so many things are happening, and it becomes scary. Again, folks, we just want to quickly welcome you. We're going now into our conversation here tonight, and the conversation has to do with Yeka Koluba the other day sounding out on one Antoinette Yancey, and she was a contract employee of the National Elections Commission, who was given the opportunity to serve as one of the chair ladies at the registration site, I believe in district number 10. And while, there, she had exchanged a conversation with Chairman Moluba Molu, who is the chairperson for the ruling Grand Coalition of Democratic Change, the CDC. In that conversation, in fact, let me see if I can go to the conversation quick and get to it. The conversation here between them, it was via WhatsApp, and it starts off, good morning, chair lady. Good morning, Chairman Molu. This is Antoinette, and one of the NEC workers at Namua. That's the Muslim building as registrar, district number 10. Please try and reach out to us so we can talk to our co-workers so that they can be flexible with the first-time voters and other people who want to register in our interest. In our interest. Let us use the internet too by registering online. Women, bring all the old ladies, first-time voters to district number 10 to register. Thanks. How Yeke got the information? He went arrayed. And we're going to go to the clip. Let's hear from Yeke before we start the conversation.
Sure.
I got the evidence and we'll send the evidence to election. Look, we don't want election violence. Any attempt for drug, we have to break the election. We'll move to your house and get him from the place here. Any attempt for drug, we have to break this election. That is why they have, any NEC are recruit seditions. NEC are recruited seditions. I got evidence here. For Anthony H. Yancey, communicating with model model for them to bring the people here so the process can go on a smooth basis. You understand what I'm saying? Our communication is on the way to election commission and they better take it serious. They better take it serious. Anybody use code to break election will you come to go for you. I challenge any of them. Anybody use code, and we are use code to break election will use come to go for you. If I hear official complaint, the complaint going. The complaint going. You understand what I'm saying? The complaint is on the way. We will not come to make kind of thing. You say you can win election, win it peacefully. You can use it and proper money to reduce it to make us. Up to now, civil servants are not taking pay. People are protesting all around. We get one man that go pass around the go enjoy it, say go to advocate for the bureau. What advocates have you come to do for the bureau? We have become a embarrassment like this. What I want done is all these seditions that they got, in the NEC, you know, be wither out. They need to be wither out. All these seditions, the guy in the NEC need to be wither out.
This lady you elect, is she working with the national election?
Yes, she already saw here. Anthony H. Yancey, I will share it.
She's in the group chat with Molu.
Yes, I will share the chat with you. I will share the communication so you can post it.
Today we are having election here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. You understand? I got the evidence here. It was sent it.
And so as you can see, it correlates with what the video, and rather the clip, the exchange conversation, the exchange between the two was about. I cannot feed it through the monitor,
okay.
but I can show the conversation here for our viewers. As you can see, this is the conversation via WhatsApp, and this is the lady, Miss Yancey. This is Miss Yancey. Let me see. This is Miss Yancey here during the day of the voter registration process when Yeka called that malfeasance. So, gentlemen, signing a document, like Alphonso said, is just a facade. It's a charade. If those things are not corrected.
Yes. And to add to that, Volcano, one of the things that Yeka said that is really profound is that the election commission,
Go ahead, sorry. I was trying to exit.
he's accusing the election commission to have hired a lot of seditious in his ranks. That is serious. That is a very serious allegation. Whether it's true or not, a lot of things we do here are about perception. If people believe that you are not acting fairly, even if you are, it still is a problem. You just show us the picture of Ms. Yancey, the lady who's accused of sending this message. I'm looking at her photograph here. She has on the CDC beret.
Yeah.
So then,
that tells you.
Yeah, on a social media post. So that raises the question: how much vetting did the election commission do when it was hiring people, or is it true that they turned a blind eye and hired seditious? This is the allegation that Representative Yeka Koluba is making, but also it's very easy to have just done a very small social media account check, and you have seen Miss Yancey in her CDC regalia. So that again, that is really critical. Several years back, there was a report that there was the guy who was in charge of the election commission's electronic system, whatever it was, had manipulated the system and was actually investigated and found to have, done some wrongs. Well, this guy was appointed as a commissioner.
He still works for the commission, yeah.
Yeah, it still works for the commission. So there's a trend here that needs to be looked into and investigated. It's very important for not just for you to be fair, but to be seen as being fair. in the election process because the people are not within the system to see what you're doing. So publicly, you have to demonstrate that you are fair. Now, there's report that the election commission, through its chairman, has terminated the contract of Miss Yancey. So we hope that more can be done to root out any other person in the commission as Miss Yancey, or even investigate her interaction with Mr. Malu and anybody else.
What's this?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Look. Before I even say something about this topic, I just want to appeal to our many viewers to help us by sharing the link because this is a very important discussion we're having tonight. We want you to invite more people to this discussion because this is intended to educate. You know, the allegation or the crime, because it has been investigated already by the National Elections Commission, the crime committed by this lady is felony. It's a crime against the state. Her action has a propensity of undermining the peace process of Liberia. And I think the commission should have gone further, not only terminating her, but they should have sought legal action against her, have her prosecuted to the fullest. She needs to serve some jail term, Volcano, because this is a very serious offense to the people of Liberia. That's one thing. And then the second thing that I want to say about this is that, like you guys said, how then can we guarantee free and fair election when somebody who was hired is seen wearing, regalia or CDC outfits? Anyone who works for the NEC, because the NEC is one of the integrated institutions of Liberia, it means that you need to be neutral. You cannot have any party leaning. You cannot be a part of the ANC at the same time you're working for the NEC. No. Your integrity will be compromised. And I think that's a serious problem. It is just one person that has been exposed. Do you know the others who are in rural Liberia, especially the hard to reach areas? Take, for example, Grand Crew, where the president comes from. What process was put in place to ensure that the guys who serving as registrars in our play are not supporters of Mr. Weir?
But in fact, that question you can
Yeah.
even ask it because Grand Crew exponentially grew high in the population. That is a significant precursor to what will happen with regards to seditions,
Yeah.
being registered.
Mm-hmm.
So let's inflate the numbers in the population of Grand Crew, and we can just say, oh yeah, the president won his county by landslide.
Mm-hmm.
And those numbers were added, Moses.
Absolutely.
But just to look at the point you made, what systems are in place. But if we were to look at it from a more analytical perspective, where you can see that Grand Crew now just overnight rose in population.
Mm-hmm.
So then it tells you that the systems there are not even manned.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate with our elections process that the oppositions, they always just sit in Monserrato County and focus in Monserrato County. And what they fail to realize, Monserrato County is the battle state, the battleground, and everybody, fighting for the piece of pie in Monserrato County. But you will have a better understanding of the process and where the elections strengthened when you can be everywhere in the territorial confines of the country rather than just focus, in Monserrado County.
Volcano, you make a very, very important point. Um, uh, yes, on the issue of safeguards, we cannot rely on the election commission alone to make sure that things, because what if somebody who works for the elections commission decides to go rogue, or what if the election commission decides to go rogue? So political parties and institutions and civil society organizations have a responsibility to hold their feet to the fire, to make sure that political parties have a responsibility to make sure that they have observers, that they have people on the ground in these places, to make sure the election commission is actually doing its job in a fair and free and open, transparent manner. That's one thing. Having said so, the onus here really falls on the election commission to make sure that the systems are in place and fully implemented, or else they will drag us into a crisis. Uh, we all just listened to Representative Yaka Koloba. He was furious. He was saying if they feel that the election was not free, fair, and democratic, they would take some actions. I don't know what those actions will be. We've also seen some altercations around the registration process already. Unfortunately, I haven't heard a lot from the Elections Commission. Neither have I heard a lot from the police and the courts and the Justice Ministry in terms of prosecuting people. You made the point, Moses. They need to go beyond just internal investigations and
Right.
firing people. Those people need to be prosecuted as a deterrence, so
Mhm.
other people do not carry out. But if nothing happens, if anybody just commits a crime and say, okay, we terminate your contract, go sit down, whatever, and then they don't put processes in place, A, to prosecute, but B, to streamline the process, to make sure that there are not other people within the system who are acting, who are bad actors in the process, and we haven't seen the election commission do that. So that
Here's
those
Johnny else quickly would like to welcome all of you tonight to our broadcast here. This is the 142nd edition of the Issues Room. We've been around close to 2 years now going. We are the alternative. Make this platform the place to be when you want to know a lot more about what's trending in Liberia, the African continent, and the diaspora. Would like to welcome Priscilla Myers. Please invite others to join you here tonight to enjoy this conversation. But coming down the road, there's a lot more that we have to unfold. Raymond Clark, thanks. Bloja Kono, you've been missing for a while. Good to see you. Reverend Idatus Ade. Good to see you, my brother. Welcome to the show tonight. Flomo Livingston, of course. You're always here. You're Montreal Kringa. Thank you, Edward Nifor. Maria Gardell, thanks for joining us here tonight. Dr. Emmanuel Sumo is in the house watching from Delaware. Thanks for the peace, and we'll be carrying the peace later on. And Mapu Hall, again, Tommy Dosebi from Yekepa, Nima County. Good to see you, and for you. Continue to chime in, Rams Northern. Good to see you. Let us know you're here. We'd like to recognize you because, again, like the Issues Room, we say that it is important for us to recognize you because you take time off your busy schedule. It's beautiful right now. The weather out there, you could be out there in a park sitting, enjoying yourself, going for a walk, but you're finding the time to listen to us. And so we appreciate your viewership. We appreciate your commitment. Nelly Pele Sumo, good to see you from all the way in St. Louis, Missouri, and also Howard Soko. Thank you. Thank you. Just continue to share the link. Let's increase the number. We want to have a good conversation tonight. But Moses, as we continue the conversation, not just that portion of what's happening, but when you look at the constant noise making around everything that's happening, think about the arms that was brought in the country. Those arms, we don't know the end result of those arms. And then you hear Yeka Koluba say, if they use arm, will use arm. Like you said, Alphonso, you're not sure what Yeka means, he said, I don't tell you, I'm not going to tell you what I would do it, but however we do it, the repercussion will be, consequential, but so many things are left unchecked. Arms in the country, drugs in the country, all of these things, we talked about it the other day, that the police never end an investigation. So when these things are happening outside of what is happening right now with the voter registration process, doesn't it just give you the edge, or the irk, people say the irk, for you to say, wait a minute, we're sitting on a time bomb, and it's just a matter of time. And the opposition themselves, I don't understand this opposition pact. They are not concerned about their well-being, their safety, because it starts with them and their constituents, those voters who will come after, come to support them. Where the safety starts, when you got lawmakers going to a voter registration center in Cape Mount County and manhandling a person. Isn't that fear? It brings fear through this whole process, and this is just the beginning, to say the least. The other thing I also want to add, what we're hearing is that young people under the age of 18 are going to get a little 20, 25 bucks. So they stay in the line. And if the parents don't know that they're registering, that's it. They'll register and give the card to the person who pays them, and they go back home. The woman was sitting down to her husband, her friend came and said, well, where your son at? Said, I mean, he said, no, you're picking on the line registering. He said, what? My 16-year-old registering? Yeah, the man, a first-time voter.
Yeah.
So how many of these young people that are registering and they're not of age? And what is the process to determine and to detect these things? This is just a complete mess. This election year is messy, honestly. Gentlemen.
Yeah, but look, what I can say is that like we have always said, this year, 2023, is a critical year for Liberia. Especially come October, that is when Liberia will decide whether they will maintain, or the people of Liberia will decide whether they will maintain the peace or break the peace. And these things that are happening are all indications. I may be wrong, but the little stuff that are happening, the controversy, all these shady deals we're talking about, are all indications that we are heading for a bigger problem. You talk about what happened in Grand Cape County. Volcano, when you take over, and let's not even talk about a country, even a small organization. When you take over that organization, you have the responsibility to ensure rule, to ensure the principle rule of law. You have that responsibility to do that. And that is what lacking into this Liberia. We have a police that is ineffective. The courts are also ineffective. You have an elections commission, people breaking electoral laws. The commission looks the other way. I heard you earlier, you talk about, what are the opposition political parties doing? Honestly speaking, I don't think it would be fair for to put this on the lap, because they can say whatever they want to say. If the ruling party, headed by George Weah, decides to look the other way, then there's nothing they can do. It is Mr. Weah and his CDC that control the police. They control the justice ministry, the judiciary. They have to coordinate with them. The legislature. You have a rubber stamp legislature. You have a compromised judiciary. You have an elections commission that is compromised. What do you expect opposition to do?
They
They will
gotta keep
just
talking.
talk.
They gotta keep making the
But
noise, Moses.
but that's not going. They will do all the talking. But these people are breaking the laws of the country with impunity. Volcano.
But then
You
we
made
gotta
reference. You
then we
made
gotta bring the
reference
man
to
back to the CIA. Oh.
yeah. You made reference. They made reference to the arms and ammunition that were brought in. Nobody forced the police. They made big news out of it. Have we heard anything? Have we? Let somebody contradict me. Have you heard anything? The situation with the sub student at the U.S. Embassy, that young man was almost murdered. Have we heard any outcome? Of course not. Natana McGill, Serena Cephas, Bell 12. The president said we will institute a probe into the allegation leveled against them by the Treasury Department. What do we see happening in Liberia? McGill is being given preferential treatment. In fact, he's running to be a representative in Margibi County. An accused criminal, Bill 12, is running for a senatorial seat in Rivers County. Another accused criminal. The presidency says nothing. So then, what do you expect opposition to do, guys?
Yeah, Moses, but they still have a part to play because at the end of the day, it's about all of us. And I'm not in any political party,
Yeah,
but the truth there is, it's about Liberia, my country.
I
Yes.
I
agree.
want to see the Liberia that we're going to be talking about in memory lane coming up shortly.
Mhm.
But it's possible, and it's a concerted effort on all sides.
Exactly.
Quickly, let me just remind folks we're opening the line tonight. It's 404-272-2808. 404-272-2808. You have the opportunity to call now and weigh in because we won't be here long on this topic. We have to move into memory lane and then coming with what type of country is this. Johnson Colley is saying that I shouldn't bring about, or we shouldn't bring about the CIA business again because the other night the whole side was cracking. But listen, if we are don't hold, if be honest about keeping the peace, we'll have to bring the man again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if I may chime in a little bit on this, and Volcano, you made a point. It's really scary that there's so much tension brewing in the country. Everywhere you turn,
Mhm.
every time you look, there's something going on in the country. There's some tension. There are people fighting somewhere. Somebody has been beaten. There are people protesting, and that it appears like that, as you correctly said, that we're sitting on a time bomb, and these things need to be addressed or else they could explode into something bigger, and that's really really concerning. The other thing about Moses, as you're saying,
Yeah.
definitely the opposition politicians, civil society organizations have a significant role to play in this process. Yes, the institutions that are charged with carrying on the activities and delivering the services might not be doing so, but that is the reason why we have civil society organizations. That is why we have checks and balances. It is our responsibility to make sure that they do the things that they've been put into place to do. At the very least, we can embarrass them. At the very least, we can take them to court. There's nothing that's stopping an opposition political party or politician right now, or even the Bar Association or any civil society group, from going to the court and trying to force the Election Commission to do its job. Is the way we can hold these institutions accountable. I remember as a young man growing up, I used to see Mabandi and even the Bacchus Matthews and everybody going to court to hold the justice ministry or institutions of government responsible to force them to do the job that they were required to do constitutionally. There's nothing that's stopping them from doing it. I think they need to do it. When you do that, you expose the malfeasance, you put pressure on them, and you even force the international community to get involved. If you just sit back
And,
and say, well, let them do it, they don't have to do it.
And you're absolutely right, Alfonso, because we saw those things happen. And even the very CDC, they were vocal. They were doing things out of the ordinary.
Mhm.
You understand me? Toting casket and parading the city,
Mhm.
making loud noise. And today they're talking about protecting a revolution. Jefferson Koji saying that they must protect the revolution. What revolution? What is the revolution? How did CDC come to power? Was it through the barrel of the guns? Or was it through the Liberian people willpower to test the poo in the pankana? They wanted to test the poo in the pankana.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. So there's no revolution here to protect. Within 6 years, all of you guys are millionaires. What more you want? What more you want? If you can't do the job, you can't do the job. For 6 years, you can't do the job, you will not do the job for another 6 years. But equally, if you get to continue to do the job, by the will of the Liberian people, so be it. But don't put fear in the voters, don't put fear in the people, bringing in arms and no head, no tail of where these arms are gone. We got no end to any investigation. They've never come out and say, hey, this is the findings, this is the conclusion. All of these things, and the Liberian people just continue to forget. I don't know that the hunger that millions of them are going through.
Exactly.
I don't know. Because I have never seen a timid group of people like Liberians. We got loud mouth on all other things. But when it comes to our well-being, we get timid. And we allow the very people who continue to hurt us to hurt us. And it's sad. It hurts me. And that's why when we ask the question, what type of country is this? Maybe we should be asking, what type of people are these? Maybe we can add another little piece to it. What type of people are these? Because honestly, Moses, it is pathetic and it's sad. It's sad. How can our country go so low? Play a low. How can we go so low?
So low, yeah.
To the point that nothing matters again. It's like learned helplessness and learned hopelessness. And you got these very people. My brother, I'm planning to go to Liberia. You get to Liberia, it's the same circulation. Nothing new. The same circulation. For all the years I've been going, spending thousands of dollars just to go home and be a part of something, it's the same circulation. Nothing has changed and nothing seemed to be changing. It is sad.
Well, look, Volcano, let me quickly wear my clinical hat here. You struck some keywords, hopelessness. Why are these people just sitting back and not doing anything? That's what happened in domestic violence relationship, abusive relationship. It is the outsiders that will see that the children or the spouses are being abused by others. Because the person has been abused to the point that he or she feels that what is happening is normal. It's like you have your wife, she works, she get her paycheck, and you take the entire paycheck and do whatever you want to do. You don't even buy food. And people are saying, but what is she doing with her money? You literally regulate her life. And that's what is happening to Liberia today. You and I sitting abroad, we see that these people are being exploited. For them, they think that's life. Because they have been consistently abused.
And Moses, let me just pause you there. Ben
Yes.
O'Connor picked up piggyback of the word I used, learned helplessness.
Mhm.
But then even in the desolation, when the international community comes to the aid, the people say, Aliyah,
That's what I was talking about.
you leave us. If I let the ambassador go, you move that
Yes.
ambassador from here. Who the
Yeah,
hell
they
is that
started
ambassador?
mobilizing for Michael McCarthy to
They to
leave.
leave. Then they turn around. Natana Magese, But wait a minute, the other people who can steal the money and carry it, bro. When we steal the money, we spend
They
it
will
here.
take it and bring it and say, yeah, they start jubilating.
The house I build here. When I die, I will carry the whole me. No. Everybody, oh yeah. What type of people are these?
So that's what happened in Volcano.
So
This,
that is actually,
and so if I could just wrap it, these people have been abused over the years, and everything that is happening to them has become what? Normal. They see it as acceptable way of life. You work, can you imagine? You serve a university for 45 years. You retire, that become a curse. And people tell you, say, oh, well, we need to meet with the president. To do what? You earn it. You don't need job via intervention. It is your entitlement. Everything in the country, oh, you know, we need to have a meeting with the president. The situation of the transport ministry. The minister of finance went there and told the people that their protests were politically motivated. Can you imagine that, Volcano? People who raise money for the country being paid chicken change.
Well, and you know the one that really hurt me. He said that if your protest is about salary increment, I don't give credence to that.
Yeah.
The only protest I give credence to if you had not been paid.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Then that's the one. But if you asking for salary increment, that's not the way to go.
Yeah.
Such disrespect.
Disrespect. Now you tell me, Volcano, where in this country that you and I live, people who raise money are paid chicken change. Not possible. When you generate money, they pay you well because they want you to perform to the best of your expectations. And Samuel 12 says someone who raising millions of dollars earning $45 a month, 50 US dollars a month, that's enough. When the person raises concern, he says, oh, this is politically motivated. You have the president who travels for almost 2 months. And the very people show up at the RIA. Yeah, Joe, we are. Yeah, Joe, we are, Joe. And you and I wondering, but what is happening with these people?
What type of people are these?
Are these? Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, no. So I want to differentiate that not everybody who turns up at the RIA or who is jubilating in the street, not everybody is turning out. Even Hitler had his supporters. Yeah. So it is supporters of the regime who are turning up to these things. But also the point I wanted to make is that is the goal of repressive systems. What repressive systems, and you took it to your to your other profession, Moses, which is but in repressive, that's the goal of repressive system. Repressive, the goal is to suppress people, to dehumanize people, to make people hungry, to make people hopeless, so they can control them.
Absolutely.
And that's what's happening when you leave people desolate and desperate. When you make people dependent upon you giving them 25 cups of rice before they and their families can eat. When you decide not to pay people until they can come and beg you and come and hold your feet before they eat, then what happens is that you become the king.
Of course,
you become the father of the nation, the father of the people, the mother of the people, even though the people might be older than you, but they refer to you as their father, as their mother, as their papa, because their survival and the survival of their families and their communities are dependent upon you. That's why repressive, corrupt governments do the thing they do. And that's what we're seeing on display in Liberia. After they deny these people their salaries for 5 months, the father of the nation will appear.
Yeah.
Give them 5 back around and say, okay, we'll pay your salaries. And say, hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Joe, we are so good.
Go for another 16 months.
And you go for another 16 months, and he appears again and brings you bags of rice and mandates the finance ministry to pay you. or the final minister comes and say, I will solve your problem, you will get paid tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then those are the good people.
Yeah.
That is the goal of repressive governments and repressive systems. That is why they do what they do. They keep you in bondage, they keep you in servitude, and that's what's going on. And as Dr. Suma and other people have been saying, that's why now it becomes our responsibility as civil society. It becomes the responsibility of every well-meaning Liberian to, I don't know what we can do, but to do whatever we can do to educate the people. I heard,
Yeah.
some other comments here. Our people, educate them and give them an alternative.
Yeah.
To
Let me
say,
let me go to the line, Alfonso. There's a
yeah,
caller.
absolutely, yeah.
Caller, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Can you guys hear the caller?
Yeah.
All right, your name and where you calling from?
Orlando Kringer from Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome, Mr. Kringer. How's everything with you?
Great. I'm doing pretty well. It's Shelton.
Yeah, welcome. Your contribution.
The contribution is when I read your headings, pertaining to the lady from CDC that was affecting the process. I think the election commission did the right thing to have her removed. So they need to still go into that process. I mean, to go into the data processing to determine if they don't have similar personality of that. Because if we wanting free and fair elections, we need to have people credible. You know, uh, I don't know whether it's partisan or what it is within the election commission that they will not vet the real people to be able to have free and fair elections. So I think they need to do more looking into where the people that they put into different positions within to the voting or the whatsoever they got going on. But my second point is that I heard Mr. Seni speaking about two different persons that was being censured. He calling them criminals. But we got to look into what our constitution states, though. I mean, don't let your emotion or your feelings hurt yourself, because the fact of the matter, there's nothing in our constitution that says that those people cannot further their rights to be able to, you know, vote into, I mean, to get, to fill any position. You see, so I mean, I understand sometimes it's kind of emotional most of the time when Mr. Sending wanting a change in Liberia, but it has to take time. It can be personal, because the Constitution does not forbid them people from going to run for senatorial representative position. And when you start calling people criminal without any due justification to the courts, I mean, I don't think it's fair, because he sits on the platform and giving news to us that we're listening to him, then when it's not justified, but I don't think it's fair to those people, because the Constitution does not forbid, those that were sanctioned by the American government. Until the Constitution says that, we can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's our Constitution. We need to
Thanks.
change it.
Yeah, thanks for your points.
So that just, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
and
And I think
Volcano, let me just correct something quickly.
Moses,
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
I was looking at, I think one of the points that he made, we talked about, but even why they didn't go in the data that she registered, the people that she registered to see, the numbers of people that she
Registered. Yeah.
registered and look to see whether those people were from district number 10. That would be also part of the investigative process. So at least they can be able to weed out those people who she was asking the chairman of the CDC, Mr. Molu, to send away, send the people, let them go online, let them. But I just thought to throw that in there. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Moses.
Yeah, look, it is important that you said that. That's what I said, that just termination is not enough. The Elections Commission should be asking for prosecution, because what a woman did undermines the electoral process. It's a felony against the Republic of Liberia. You need to be held. When you do that, you set a precedent. Like Alphonso said earlier, you set a precedent, and then others out there will be very mindful. Now, let me say quickly something about what my brother Kringer said. And guys, you heard me. I said when the Treasury Department sanctioned what did Mr. Weir say? He said the Liberian government will institute a probe. So basically, I was saying that these guys are now what? Criminals. The president came publicly and said, we will investigate. Where is that investigation today, Mr. Kringer? Is it Moses Seni that's saying that? The judge will not tell the word that Nathaniel McGill, Serena Cephas, Bill Torway will be given the days to be heard. Why are we not seeing progress in that direction? Why is it that we are waiting to hear from the government on this issue? The very government is sitting back and allow Mr. McGill to go ahead with whatever he's doing. How do you interpret that, Kringer? Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, gentlemen. So
Mhm.
you want to say something, Alfonso?
very quickly
Okay.
on the issue that Mr. Kringa raised. That's very important. But I think Moses really hit it on the nail, the head on the nail on the head as well. Why haven't these people been investigated by the government of Liberia? If they have been investigated, where are the findings of the investigation? Why isn't the anti-corruption commission investigating these people? Or why haven't they investigated them? Why hasn't the justice ministry investigated them? To be honest, the issues, the things that are being accused of have been in the media, have been in public view. If you remember the issue at the Port Authority in Buchanan with the that has to do with William Bill Twerway. If you remember the issue of the contracts of the companies that they found that they were then funneling contracts to. So all of this was public information even before the US government came up to impose the sanctions. Yet the government of Liberia and our so-called accountability institutions, such as the Anti-Corruption Commission, have failed to conduct any investigation. That is basically tacit support of the corrupt acts that they've been accused of. And then very quickly on the election situation, the lady in her post said new voters. Who are those new voters?
Yeah.
Might there be the underage children that we're talking about? Bring them to district number 2, register them online first, and then send them, and then we just put them through the process without vetting them, without a national ID system. How do we even determine that somebody is of age to register to vote, or that somebody is a citizen to vote? These are questions I just wanted to throw out there.
And this election is messy. This election is going to just be another try and error, and I don't know what will be the outcome, who's going to win, and it's just going to be pathetic, the result. My fear is that hopefully it doesn't plunge the country into any kind of situation that could create more havoc throughout the length and breadth of the country. But listen, gentlemen, we have covered this conversation, and it's time for us to go into memory lane. I thought that this was a good piece written by Dr. Eman Sumo. And what he says here, he dedicated this memory lane to the issues room, particularly to me, you, Moses, and Alfonso. And this is how he starts. Listen, don't go anywhere. Let's come and have some fun. Y'all remember by that Liberia was sweet, man. That time Liberia was sweet, man. We had so much to celebrate for. We, the Liberian people, lived in harmony. You remember that time we were living in harmony?
Yeah.
We could watch our clothes, right? We could wash our clothes and leave them outside overnight hanging on the line.
That's true.
And by the next morning, our clothes were still hanging out there safely. But the day just tried. We got Zogos. You remember those days? You wash your
Yeah.
clothes, you hang it outside, your clothes will stay there. Even
The
you hang your
next day
clothes
you
to
come
dry.
and stay hanging
But
there.
my
Yeah.
brother, into this, like, you literally got to sit down outside and mind your clothes until it dry before you carry it inside the house. Our parents built and displayed the beautiful homes with pride. But today, the fences are higher than the new homes.
That's true.
People are living in prison compounds and they say
That's
they
true.
got yeah.
That's true.
Amen. What type of country is this?
Absolutely.
That's his question. Zogo then now can jack your phone and the police must invite the Zogo to appeal to him or her. Please bring back the phone.
Can you imagine that?
Police and Zogo are in a truce to bring back the they can't arrest the Zogo.
No.
They can't.
Can you imagine policeman
Okay.
begging to go?
You have to give the Zogo cold water before getting your phone back. Can you imagine? You gotta give Zogo cold water. CIA and all can order your president to report. Can you imagine? What type of country is this?
Don't kill, man.
What type of country is this? Thanks to the issues room. But how can I deny my culture? Great grandmother who protected me from evil. When I was young, she prepared a well-decorated talisman and placed it on my neck to protect me from witchcrafts. I was all but a day to 6 years old, but I still remember the removal ceremony of the talisman from my neck. At the end, she bathed me with some specially prepared water and blessed me. Thanks to Tomawa, my great-grandmother, and my best friend, my place of birth, and did dictate my destiny. Where our joys we as one Liberian people once shared. Where are our joys? He says here. One thing that makes us unique in Liberia is that everyone is welcome to join in and celebrate any festival. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody got to invite you.
That's true.
Irrespective of the occasion, whether it's Christian, whether it's Muslim, and cultural events are enjoyed by everyone, regardless of their belief or tribal culture. But today, we fight more. Y'all remember the Congo boys then told us that we could not lead ourselves, so that's true. That's true, yeah? That our time now, but just see. Look at what the indigenous looters are doing to our country. In my village, where I was born, our two favorite holidays are Christmas and Eid al-Fitr, and we all celebrated together. The hallmark of all Liberian festivals is the enthusiasm with which they are celebrated, with New Year's Day a shining example. We used to celebrate with parties, musical performances, dance, songs, traditional drummings, lots of eating and drinking, and fireworks and bonfires on both New Year's Eve and the day. And at the time, we used to have what we call firecrackers. You all remember that?
Yeah.
But this time, story changed. Mommy and daddy can't even afford to buy a cup of rice. How can you beat drum or dance culture when your belly empty? What type of country is this? I come in peace. That the issue room, you won't put me in trouble, yeah. That's why he wrote this one. Gentlemen, it's a reflection of where our country was and where we've come. And I just a minute ago, I said, what type of people are these now?
Yeah.
What type of people are these that have gotten our country to this type? That police officer got to be negotiating with a criminal. And then you got to get a cold water to the criminal to get your phone back. So, it's time for... So, gentlemen, welcome, all of you, our viewers tonight. This is the segment, humorous segment about our country, where it has come to be. And interestingly, it was never this way, but because of bad governance, the civil war, the lack of the attitude to want to put the system back in place and increase our potential and put us back in the community of nations for real, the entire culture, the fabric, the system of our country is eroded to the point where it's all a mess. And so we say, welcome to the segment. We have a few here ready to go. Moses, I know that we might end up going back to the CIA headquarters. I'm not sure. Let's start with actually uh uh someone says, yeah, you remember the time when we used to leave our windows open
Yeah.
even midnight, catching
Yeah.
cool breeze?
Mhm.
I mean, you can't even leave your windows open in Liberia right now. Except you own you maybe you 10-story high. Can you imagine? I got a 3-story building in Liberia and I got what they call it, iron bar all the way to the 10th floor.
Yeah.
Because the man in Anija,
Man, they can come up.
the man can climb. The man can find a way to get up there. There are buildings that 6-story, they still got iron bar way up. What type of country is
Is
this?
this? But look, Volcano, I would like to begin on this note by saying thank you to Dr. Mane Sumo. The creativity, the reflection, just as you see in Volcano, into this Liberia, when I see the homes, when I see those fences, the fences that are constructed around the country, when I see those homes, they just remind me of, prisons. I'm telling you, you have onion bar inside, outside. Then the front door is a metal door. The back door is a metal door.
Moses, let me add this part. You ain't been there, so let me give you the reality. I went in one
Yeah,
house. In fact, I went in 2 houses where they're using a wawa. They're using a wawa
yeah.
inside the ceiling before they put a ceiling on it.
Wow.
So they use the wawa over the 2x2.
Yeah.
The
And
what
then
we
before they
call
put the
what we
ceiling
call
there.
yeah what we call the
That's
ceiling
the back.
jersey. It's called the
Yeah,
ceiling jersey.
yeah.
They use the wawa, and the wawa is about 1 inch thick. They use the wawa in the entire house. Then before they put a ceiling over the wawa, so it looks like it's real ceiling, but you can't get in that ceiling because what they were doing, they were taking the zinc off top of your house and come down the ceiling. They climb on
Oh
top of
my
the zinc and
God.
come down the ceiling. So with all that iron bar around the house, they climb on top of the roof, take off 1 sheet of zinc and come down the ceiling. So the wawa, the man can step the wawa and fall down. Then they come through the house. So some people now, I went to another place, they use iron bar. The same way you got iron bar to the window, they create a long iron, like a whole iron,
Yeah, and
yeah,
use it for ceiling?
and then put it up in the house.
Wow.
That's how bad our country has gone. And
It's that.
nobody gives a damn. Nobody. It doesn't bother the big people, the rich boys. It doesn't bother the George Weah. It doesn't bother the Jefferson Koji because why? He has his own army. He has his own protection. He doesn't have to do that. But the ordinary people must do that to survive. What type of country is this? That you got to put iron bar in your ceiling,
Yeah.
iron bar around the windows, iron doors around the house, iron everywhere. And then when the house get gutted by a small fire,
Everybody dies.
everybody
Everybody dies.
perish.
Everybody dies.
That's
Everybody.
your
Yeah.
country.
Well, what type of country is this when the president responds to all of this problem is that citizens should buy CCTV cameras.
Yeah.
What type of country is
Not
this?
not that we will increase the budget to the police, not that we
Yeah.
will recruit more police officers. It is, hey, you wouldn't even have food to feed your family.
It's
Go
about
buy
CCTV.
CCTV camera.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What type of country is this? That someone who served the University of Liberia for 45 years retires, and that retirement becomes a curse. The person can barely live. What type of country is this?
Ahmad Freeman says, what type of country is this when George Weah can call a radio station and say that the founder verdict?
What type of country is this?
Yeah, he said that is the final verdict. You remember one time he called the radio station and was passing verdict on some. It was something that happened in the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
Okay.
Rams doesn't say back then you could leave your dogs unchained.
Of course.
Nowadays, don't let your dog go outside. Your dog go
Because of water will kill. They will kill your dogs.
Yeah, and Eric Dazi said you could leave your windows open 11 to 12 midnight
Of
and
course.
catching your fresh air.
Mhm.
In fact, your windows cannot open any time of the day, whether broad daylight. You can't open your window if you're not in the room.
Yeah.
The man that got fishing hook, they got a long something to put it, the iron on it, the handcuff. And
Yeah.
and in a way they can force it through your window and hook your phone, hook your handbag. I mean, this is serious stuff in your country, man.
But
It's
Volcano,
serious.
this is very scary though.
Thomas Awaji say even chickens used to roam around freely. Now this chicken can roam.
What type of country is
Nothing
this? That
is
other
roaming
chicken.
Nothing is roaming in Liberia. Nothing. Chicken or dog, all of them, they gotta be hiding. You gotta hide your chicken.
What type of country is this? When somebody who works for the NEC will go into some arrangement with the ruling party, say, bring the people over to me, I will register them.
In
We
our
have to do
interest.
we have to do everything we can to retain power. What type of country is this?
Thomas Awaji, what type of country is this? When one foreign investment cannot come to your country in 6 years.
What type of country is this?
Nothing. Because the Acela Metal was there during early time.
Yeah.
I don't know what new company that Mr. Weah can point to. I said the 50 billion carbon, blue carbon that's going to be coming.
Yeah, a $50 billion contract, company coming.
Emmanuel Jackson, what type of country is this? Wendell Nimele, a radio commentator, asked the president, President Weah, what are you going to do? Your Minister of Agriculture has been found guilty of corruption. Billy Denny. President Weah's response, when? They didn't know about that.
What can you
I think that's
imagine
what
the
it was
president of the
talking about.
country? Yeah, the president of the country.
Yeah, that was what Ahmad Freeman was talking about.
Yeah.
He said they have not found the woman guilty. The law has not taken his course. So why should I address that?
Yeah, why should I? Yeah. What type of country is this? How can the Minister of Agriculture, honor go LACC pro without the presidency being aware of it? What type of country is this?
What type of country is this, Thomas Awaji? When someone can steal your generator while it's running? And let me tell you the story.
I know how to do it.
Okay, I'll tell you. And then they will get a long wire.
Yeah.
Long wire from here, probably from your house all the way to the junction. You mostly send it from your house all the way to the junction.
Wow.
Good distance, right?
Yeah.
They will bring it. Then, while the generator beating, they will take the wire of the generator that going in the house.
Yeah.
And then they plug the wire in there.
Yeah.
Then the light will go up. When the light go up quick, then when it's trying to plug it, the light come back on.
No.
Then now they pick up the generator and be carrying it. But later on, by the time they get to that distance that they feel comfortable,
Then they let go of.
then they let go. But then they're gone. The generator gone.
Yeah.
I mean, they got geniuses in stealing in Liberia.
But the guys are so creative now and then, Volcano.
So Thomas Awaji is right. They steal your generator while it's running. Because what they do, they just switch that line. Then they pick up the generator. And the long line, you just think your generator journey is about to be gone.
But the thing comes up, a minute generator gone.
What type of country is this, Thomas Awaji, where everyone is stealing electricity?
Yeah, even the speaker.
What type of country is this with a president who speaks English well needed a translator when he was at the CIA answering questions?
That's the man was before the CIA.
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
bus,
So
and then
Shaggy McAfee is senior. Hashtag, what type of country is this when the president who speaks English well needed a
but you know,
translator while he was at the CIA headquarters? You got
yeah,
to, you remember acting like he can speak in the English.
the man asked to use the restroom. So he said to the guy, my man.
Moses.
Then the guy lifted their hand. Also, my man, you're not get balloon. So the guy asked his friend, what is he saying? Oh, you need to use the restaurant? Yes, sir. That's what I want. So I walk down that
So, former Toure, what type of country is this when they can kill other people, mothers and fathers, rape other people's sisters, take their properties, nothing can come out of it?
Yeah.
What type of country is this? How low have we come? How low? Flomo Livingston, what type of country is this that the president caught a speech with the citizens?
Yeah, what type of country is this? Says nothing to anybody.
Yeah.
Hashtag, what type of country is this? Shaggy McAfee, when foreigners prey on the country's citizens and resources and the government doesn't do anything about it, that is equivalent to a mom sitting there watching her innocent 10-year-old daughter getting molested and she doesn't do anything.
Anything about it. What type of country is this? When the citizens will go to register, it's just impossible to determine whether they are of voting age or not. What type of country is this?
Because there's no system in place. No data, no biometrical data, no birth and statistic data.
Nothing.
It's just a mess. Thomas Awaji say, what type of country is this when you have to put your phone in your underwear to avoid theft? And I way down there too, not just the underwear, but way down there.
When the phone rings, my man, you start asking for a restroom, right? Your phone, they say, so your phone is ringing. You say, my man, where's your bathroom?
Yeah, I gotta go get my phone. Ram Snodden, what type of country is this? Former Chief Justice Scott, kids down water side, no head, no tail.
Yeah, man.
The kids now, they say, the man said the kids now down water side.
Yeah, my man. Yeah, man. What type of country is this where someone who loses a relative is being treated as a perpetrator of the crime? What type of country is this?
But Moses, what type of country is this when you have parents and kids literally living in the cemeteries? Children are running between graves. I saw that and I gave up. I thought I was in a whole nother place in this world. Moses, people are living in the cemetery. Some of the tombs that people build, they bust the tomb and they go in there and move all of the remains,
all the human remains, and people go in there to live.
They're literally living in the cemetery and burning children and having children in the cemetery. And not only that, those kids are growing up in the cemetery as though it's a normal environment, and they're running all over the place. And government don't give a crap. Law enforcement don't give a crap. This is serious story. I'm telling you, it's no joke.
It's true. Homelessness, lack of social services. Yep.
And I'm not saying that this is only particular to Liberia, but it ever shouldn't happen because our culture is not built around these kinds of things. But what type of country is this, Moses?
But
what type of people are these?
The Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and all these other, organs of government, don't they see that people living in cemetery, living in tombs, don't they see that as a threat to the country's health?
They should. They see it. They
Do they
just
see that?
Yeah.
And nothing happens?
Nobody gives a crap. What type of country is this? Shaggy McAfee hashtag. When you have a Ministry of Cultural Affairs and Tourism, but have no tourism industry.
Shaggy,
No.
be careful. Shaggy,
Shaggy going after our man, let you.
Mose, a Volcano man, the minister there.
Oh, yeah,
No,
our
but
man,
let
our man, our man. Shaggy,
Well,
Shaggy,
I
be
think
careful of our man.
her concern is legitimate because we don't, and you can't blame the minister. You know, the funding is not there.
Only
The funding
15G.
is not there. Yeah,
You get me 15G
yeah.
for small things.
15G, yes.
So do whatever you want with that one.
Yeah,
Now you cover more.
yeah. Some dressing my man. I think
So
now
Raymond Clark
15G
is saying here that,
against
gentlemen, I'm not able to say whatever country is this tonight because I'm enjoying watching the country with justice work that America.
That's true.
Yeah, he's watching the Donald Trump saga.
So
Emmanuel
when are we
Jackson,
going to see this? Yeah.
what type of country is this? The Minister of Education asked for $1 billion to fix the school system while he runs a private school. It's giving the rats the cheese, the supervise. That's what it is. It's like giving the rat the cheese.
Of
The
course,
supervise.
conflict of
The
interest.
man in conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Then he asking for $1 billion, whatever billion, Liberian billion, or that somebody, or that $1 billion from that 50 billion. That's
so called 50 billion. 419 50 billion.
And what type of country is this? When you have the Monrovia Consolidated School System, MTSS, that runs series of schools in Montserrat County with a budgetary allocation of less than $4 million US. What type of country is this? How do you pay salaries? How do you maintain the schools? How do you keep the lights running? What type of country is this?
But Moses, Franklin Komoyan says, what type of country is this where our president claims to be a pastor and at the same time a reggae star, Jah Rastafari?
I like that.
What type of country is this where our president claims to be a pastor and at the same time a reggae star, Jah Rastafari?
Yeah.
What type of country is this?
You know? I like
What
to
type
see
of
our
country is
president
this?
preaching. Yeah.
Shaggy says, when I'm ashamed to say I'm a Liberian or to tell people where I'm from.
What type of country is this?
And that's true.
Yeah. It's
some people are now,
man.
they're not even proud to say they are Liberian because of where our country is now. But we will talk about these things so that we can fix it together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can fix it together. What type of country is this, Thomas Awaji? Where people dig up dead bodies to live in the graveyards. Yes, Thomas. We talked about it. This is a serious matter, Moses. You need to see it. It's a sight to see.
It's sad. It's sad. What type of country is this? What type of country is this when people are literally running campaign to be selected as running mate to old man Joseph Walker?
Who running campaign was it?
I said, what type of country is it? It is your guess. What type of country is this when people are literally running campaign?
And interestingly, it's just confusing the papel.
Yeah, everybody running campaign, my man.
But Moses, I got one I just wrote before we came to the show.
Yeah.
What type of country is this?
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy called Zolizo.
Yeah.
Who they called for corruption, for stealing gasoline.
Petroleum.
And then the man bounced G, the man say he's not resigning or they can't fire him.
And they still got a man there. Oh,
the man still there?
The man still there.
So the man bounced Brombo. The man said nobody can fire him.
The man bad Jiva, man. The man said people hate him because he promoting George. We are.
Yeah, man got connections. He got connection in high places.
Yeah. Whatever country is this, my man. Where people can do anything. If you go to look for a job, they say you know Chema Maulu.
Can you imagine that?
You
There's
got
no
over
merit
serious job.
system. No merit.
The HR person, the first question they will ask, my man, you say, yeah. Do you know more about Molo? When you said no, they said no, my man, no vacancy.
Flower Livingston, what type of country is this? Everyone takes the laws into their own hands, Moses.
What type of country is it?
What
That's
type
what we
of
talk
country
about.
is this?
Yeah. Survival
What
of the
type of
fittest,
country is
my
this,
man.
Moses?
If the system can protect you, you protect yourself.
You tell you, say,
That's it.
oh, what type of country is there? What the man will tell you, say, my man was spotted. That man myself was spotted here today.
But what type of country is this where the president say he will slap Henry Costa on Kerry Street three
He said,
times? You
yeah,
getting
that
slapped?
man myself get me
We are.
on Broad Street.
No, Kerry Street.
Kerry Street.
Let's say he will slap Henry Costa three times. We are. The whole president, he said, I'm the president, Bennett. I'll catch that picking on Kerry Street. I'm going to gain 3 deadly slap. We are. He called it Uni.
What type of country is this?
Franklin Kumoyan, rather. What type of country is this where our lawmakers are given funds for agriculture break, but they don't even have a backyard garden? Pure corruption.
I tell you. and you know,
Awasoko.
yeah.
First time here in the what type of country. So let's see what she got here. What type of country is this? When you move in a new community, you have to befriend a Zogo in order to move freely. And I think she's right. That's true.
Yeah. The Zogos have become very prominent people, my man.
I like the way Moses said, become prominent people.
My man,
God.
that's true. Volcano, you won't go out in the name, my man. You gotta have one other guy with you. When somebody says, my man, that's my sister.
and you gotta be taking care of the CRC because they got a CRC. They got a CRC. They call it the 5-star.
In control, my man.
The 5-star.
Yeah, the boys are the big boys, my man.
And the thing we're taking for granted here, this thing surfacing into something bigger that we will not be able to control, Alphonso.
Yeah.
Let's just take 1 minute and talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it seems as though it's becoming the norm.
Yeah.
And it's laughable, so it's now becoming acceptable.
Yeah.
Where the rule of law does not take its course. And well, everything we're talking about here, they are the reality of the time. Absolutely. Where people are negotiating with Zogos and police officers to get their belongings back.
Yeah.
Will some be there? I mean, look at Haiti, right? That's what's happening in Haiti.
Oh, yeah, Haiti is completely a failed state.
They have gangs now controlling major parts of the capital city and large swaths of the country.
Yeah, government can do nothing.
The police can do nothing. Government can do nothing. We're getting there. We are getting there. There are places in Monrovia here that are controlled by the Zogos. The police can't go there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But my man, do you not hear they say after 6 o'clock you have to be home?
You go home. You go.
What type of country is this? Rams nothing. When JNB thinking how to run campaign in the rainy season, Communists thinking how to erase JNB and take his voters. You can say he want to take, we are one-on-one kung fu fighting.
What type of country?
Oh God.
Yeah.
What type of country is this? Tamasawaji, where politicians depend on the homeless population to vote them in the office.
And that's true.
Yeah,
that's true, because these are the guys that they exploit. When elections coming up, they get one of these kid up being, these yellow buses, use buses that they take to the they call them what? Kid up being, right?
Yeah.
So they carry these buses and park them. They say, my man, y'all get on the bus.
Yeah.
Everybody get on the bus,
and
they go to the mayor, go and leave the mayor show of it $20 for that day.
Absolutely.
And Bennett O'Connor has seen this. The issue we're just talking about, the rise and the power that Zogos are gaining, it's
Yeah,
becoming a national issue.
absolutely.
You know, and it doesn't seem that people concerned about it. And to be honest with you, if we put the right kinds of programs in place to get these guys, you know, rehabbed and inserted back into society, they can be moral citizens.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But we're letting time pass. And the sad thing about it, gentlemen, is that as they're aging, they're recruiting.
Of course. Are they seen down their burning case?
Exactly. That's the
Human
point I want to
behavior
Yeah,
are
yeah,
Not only
yeah.
are they
That's where the
recruiting,
recruiters coming from.
yeah, their children are growing up in that system.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. You know, we call that generational addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
the man is a Zogo, his pa is a Zogo. He grows up to he start using,
So
he
it
start
becomes
having
it's
children.
like in the DNA.
Yeah, he running the family now.
Yeah.
You see?
Shaggy McAfee, hashtag, what type of country is this? That the Zogos are the new law enforcement body of Liberia imposing on rating curfew during the daylight. At 6 p.m. businesses close and everyone or everybody rushes home. Even the police
He locked
lock
themselves.
themselves up. Otherwise, food help the body.
Go have their body.
Can you imagine when policemen running away from Zogo? But look, what makes the thing so difficult for the police or the entire criminal justice system? The man will commit a crime, they carry the man to prison, then you that sue the man. They say, my man. But you bring something to feed the man. If you ain't got money to buy food for the man, they say, man, will release the man.
Or release the man. You can't keep the man.
Yeah.
Moses, somebody's pressing your humor.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Edward Neefor. What type of country is this? Where the opposition leaders only care about themselves and not the citizens.
That's true.
Ram Snutton. What type of country is this? Men can talk all. Women don't care how many girls get raped. Corruption is an old melody.
Mhm.
Going to school is not important anymore. Give them motorcycle or put $20 in their pockets. They are happy. What type of country is this?
Yeah.
What type of country is this?
Sad.
What type of country is this that a female will say, look, I got somebody who does my hair. A female will say, I got someone who pays my rent. And the female got everybody for different assignment.
What type of country is this? Look at Livingstone. A police officer begging motorcycles for money, calling him chief. Let me get small dinner.
Yeah. What type of country is there where you drinking, you got alcohol in your vehicle, you reach to a chap where the man say, my man, oh, my man, you chilling, let me just get mine. The policeman also to pull you over for DUI and then say, my man, you chilling, man, let me get something back.
Let me get my own.
And whether that the last sip in the bottle, you just give it a man. Carry on, carry on, carry on.
My man, carry on. The damn big brother.
Emmanuel Jackson, what type of country is this? The representative got senator, but still occupy an ECOWAS representative job meant for a House of Representatives.
Wow.
And that's Edwin Snow. So the job, what he's trying to say here, the job was only put aside in ECOWAS for
Yeah.
a lower house person.
Yeah.
But the man elevated the senator, he's still keeping his job.
He said they're representing ECOWAS.
And nobody gives a crap.
Representing Labra. But the man's a friend of the president now. What you
Franklin Komoyan, what type of country is this where our president moved his office from the executive mansion to the invisible park?
The ball president.
So apparently he's at that park every day. Oh.
Oh, yeah. But what type of country is this that you press secretary to the president, but you can better see the man? You got to go to Colasco.
What's the end of it, man?
You got to go. He said, my man, Colasco, my man, tell the chief I want to
I want to tell you something.
I want to tell you Sunday. Then the man go by and say, my man, the man say, he wants to see nobody today.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Hashtag
Jesus.
Shaggy McAfee. What type of country is this? When you pay a police officer $10 to put someone in jail for no reason by making up lies.
Yeah.
And whilst the police officer is taking the suspect to lock up, the suspect pays the police officer $10 to be released. Serious story. We did an experiment twice in May in 2015 and December 2019.
Wow.
So the police officer ate $20.
But look, this thing here we're laughing about is a
Godwin, we are though. Let me take this one quick, Moses. What type of country is this where even the Minister of Information don't even have accessible access to the president?
What type of country is this? How do you speak for somebody when you can't have access to him? Jesus.
But and your man came with the president to Langley.
Yeah.
Eh?
So they're trying to fix it.
You got a late travel fee.
It's sad, but man.
Shaggy McAfee, he has a whole book on these things. Shaggy has a whole book here. What type of country is this that like to steal other country identity? We are using Chinese plug type, British metric system, and Ghana welcome say at our airport, which is Akwaba, just to name a few.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense that we are not very original. We
copy everything
from other places. It's unfortunate, Moses. But quite frankly, I mean, just think about everything that we're saying here tonight, my people. This is not denigrating our country in any fashion. It's just the fact that these are things that are real, and throwing the humor around it brings life to the conversation. That's all it's about. We're bringing life to the conversation. Why it may be funny, why it may be, stuff to laugh and feel good about it, yet there are serious issues that must be addressed. And if not addressed, the long-term dire consequences would be irrefutable. It's something that we won't be able to fix and change. Irreparable, put it that way.
Yeah.
And it's just scary. Let's go back to what type of country is this? Police officer come from the King Juice shop and directing traffic. and that's true.
The man drunk already. They directing traffic.
And you can see the man is drunk. This one is funny. You can see the man drunk. Then he telling the car that's supposed to go left, he telling it to turn right. He confused too.
But man, you follow the man direction, you just run to somebody.
Godwin, we are doing. What type of country is Liberia, where civil servants leave office than the usual working hours? That's true.
Yeah.
What type of country is this? When your car breaks down on the road, you just walk away and leave it there.
Yeah.
Jackie McAfee.
And nobody told you.
No towing. But you walking away is at your own risk, because you come by and be sitting down this hour.
Nobody move all the tires.
Yeah, they'll carry all the tires, man, the light bulb, everything, anything that they can physically take off the car, they'll carry it. Wow. You'll meet a frame. I'm not kidding you. You'll meet a frame. Moses.
Wow.
You'll meet a frame.
But
So
they
right?
have companies that tow vehicles. So like
they got one or two garages, not company, just garage. And then the city corporation has they got tow truck.
Yeah.
Prince City Corporation and that of I think River City Corporation. They got, if they don't have the tow truck, they're able to get tow truck to tow your car if they
letting, right?
Yeah, not letting $300 oh.
What?
$150 to $300. Yes, if they put a what they call it?
To tow the vehicle from one location to another.
If they
when they put out what they call it, the lock.
The clamp on your car.
Yeah, when they do that,
Oh yeah, like when you park in the wrong place, right?
Yes, they did it to me at ELW Junction. I had a bond G2.
Three
The man at
hundred
$850
dollars.
bucks. The man at $850 bucks.
$300.
Otherwise, I'm not leaving.
Wow.
The man wanted to tow me from there to Peamsville Town Hall. I said, my man, you can carry me.
But for Canada, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Why do our people exploit the ordinary people like
Oh,
that?
yeah. From America now.
$300 only because you or what? Or you violated, some kind of city ordinance.
So the other man are 3 presidents in need. Cover, do, and tiller. Make it I, Ellie, and we are to it. What type of country is this? Even if you entrust your family member to keep his eye on your construction materials, the family member start to sell your building material. Oh, that's serious thing. And you're right. You're right.
Not true.
You're very right.
Not true.
As Edward Neeford, what type of country is this where the president aide get more information about the country more than the information minister?
Yeah. What type of country is this? And just going back
Yeah,
to
and this guy, Emmanuel Jackson is right. There's a place called Uptown Garage. It's like a upscale garage on Nelson Street. Up there, going toward Ducar, and they have a tow truck. So sometimes they use those upscale garages.
They tow your vehicle. Yeah.
Godwin Weado, what type of country is Liberia where 4 or 5 persons carrying on one man job, especially at the airport and the Freeport?
Can you imagine somebody is hired as a filing clerk, and then you got somebody working as a receptionist? You have somebody job is what just to move things from the office of the minister to to another staff. Why can't you just hire one good receptionist that will take care of those basic stuff? You hire somebody as a filing clerk?
What type of country is this where the police officer wants you to drive him to Central so he can give you your so-called ticket? You won't give me ticket? Meet me at Central.
Is it my man? My man, Lord drive to Central.
Thomas Harvey, what type of country is this that continues to give God headache? That's a good one.
Thomas.
Oh, God.
It's upside down, right?
I mean, God said got headache now from us, my man. What?
Yeah, whatever country is this, my man.
What type of country is this? That the street lights just up, but it doesn't work.
But Volcano, what's about the one with the traffic light?
Oh, yeah. They just decided to take all the traffic light down, send the people can follow the rule. Let's just take the traffic light down. But
the light is green when the light is green, and when you go through, then the policeman say, "My man, stop."
Yeah. So Moses.
Yeah.
So our man and the opposition signed what they call
a peace deal.
Peace deal.
Yeah.
That they will respect the elections.
Yeah.
But all the things that people doing, women are jumping all around the place. People of the ruling party call themselves lawmakers. They go in places and destabilizing and carrying on and beating people up or causing havoc.
Yeah.
If the man continue, we're bringing on the Concorde. He will not come with private jet. It will be the Concorde. We'll send the Concorde to bring him back to the CIA.
You know what? When we tell him to place a phone call to a Taylor. Lane just called Charles Taylor. He said, man, how is that place? Taylor was saying, man, let me tell you, you better behave.
and Taylor was saying, but Biggie, after he said you wanted my job, now you see what it means to do my job. And I want Charles Taylor there, we are. Say, I told you wanted my job. Look, boy, I saw it ever since. I told you wanted my job. Now you got my job. You able to do it. But try it. They will bring you. They will bring you right here with me in England.
It's a man will be apartment mates. In fact, You will be on the. We have a bunk bed. You will be at the bottom. I will be at the top.
You met me here.
Yeah.
I'm the head in the cell.
Yes. I will put you at the bottom. He said, "My man, not you saying they play out. How you managing over there?" He said, "Picking, I told you, you better be careful with the American people."
Hey, so what happened to me? Don't people eat rest until they brought me here.
Be careful with them.
Yeah. People eat rest until they brought me here. So that thing you doing that, I'll let you, man. You want to be pastor, you want to be Rastafari, you want to be reggae superstar, you want to do all the job you alone. Don't control yourself. Don't put it the way they call you to the CIA. The next time they call you now, I think you'll be able to escape the war. Hey, see me where I'm at? 50 years they give me. I don't even know if I'll see Liberia again.
They went to the CIA headquarters. All Colasco could say was, "Hey, Allah." They may get busy up in that. "Hey, Allah." And I asked him, "But Colasco, what happened? You see? That's the thing about you. You see the way they would people treating them. You have to pray. Hey, Allah."
Also, that Ramadan season or something.
So Colasco cover a small mat is praying. He started doing it.
He wanted to pray, then the CIA, the CIA officer came on. He said, "So," and he said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I want to pray." He said, "No, not yet."
You can't pray here.
No, we don't pray. You want to pray, you have to go home. He said, "Then you're going up and down." Hey, man, they're saying now they're watching. Just go, you can't hear. Hey, Allah. You know, in Islam, when you hear Allah, they're talking about God.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, God." They said, "Well, what happened with this man? Why? Is he schizophrenic?" He's talking to himself. What does he call Allah?
Oh, God.
Everybody asking the man, "So what's your problem?" He said, "Hey, Allah."
The man Papi was in a hot seat.
Yeah. Man, you're running up and down all day. He say, "Hey, Allah." But what he brought to the player, you see, I think I'm telling people.
But anyone a rappling and get it by down. So every video will come back to the CIA headquarters. So Shaggy is saying here, when our president wants to own all the titles in the country, what type of country is this? He is a soccer icon, basketball, volleyball MVP, musician, martial artist, pastor, bishop, imam, Ludo champion. If I am a Ludo champion, Checo King, Mr. Liberia, and soon to be Miss Liberia.
Liberia best preso.
Paku, you strong.
Paku, you strong. The people make special t-shirt too.
Where
Liberia best preso.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you haven't seen the man?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen
He
it.
made a wear that t-shirt, Liberia best preso. But when he mounts the podium there, he say, "Hey, Allah, they may come here again." Because everybody
Emmanuel Jackson, what type of country is this? The Council of Churches forced politicians to sign a non-violent agreement in 2017 elections. Yeah. In 2023, it's the ECOWAS Farmington Agreement.
Yeah.
What type of country is this, Godwin Doe, where the president don't speak or doesn't speak to the country or to the people on serious national issues, but only wait for Sona to speak to the people for almost 4 hours as a third grade student reciting recitation? What type of country is this, Franklin Komoya, with over 23 political parties. Most of these parties are handbag parties that can often be seen during elections period. Some
Yeah.
barely have members. Example, PLP bosses are more than their partisans. ALP Costa, Keller, and Ure are the only partisans.
But Volcano, while I got west from my road in the street today, I was watching this signing ceremony. Man, some of the political party needs they were calling. This one is so strange to me. I said, what?
Yeah. Edward Nifo, what type of country is this? When you send your relatives money from abroad, they will flash you on the phone. And when you call back, they'll say, I flash you to say I get the money. Thank you.
But you can't call to say thank
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? What type of country is this, Shaggy McAfee, when the president is in cold air conditioned room at the CIA but sweating like hell?
It's just so why are you sweating? He said, man, this place is too hot. The people said, no, man, you must be kidding.
And then, man, Colasco just going around. Hey, Allah.
Hey, Allah. Then the other guy asked him, but what, is he schizophrenic?
Oh, God.
He's hallucinating. He's talking to himself.
Oh, God.
So what the white man call auditory hallucination. He get talking to himself. What everybody wondering, but what is he talking to? Colasco just going up and down. Hey, Allah. Financial what happened? He said, you get to ask me no question, man. Everywhere we go, you let us show. You see me, you see what happened. He asking you what happened again.
You can see the guy, the chief in that room there, to make it. We can't even see the man.
The people say, must stand inside. You know how long that man be inside there? 4 hours now. We can't even see the man. Then he said, I'm going to say, Allah.
Then Fina say, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Let's just pray.
Yeah,
Let's just pray for him.
Yeah. Colasco said, but what I told you, you see me already pray. Yeah, Allah.
Then Fina said, okay, let me go spy and see what's going on. Then she went, she asked the man, said she won't go inside. The man said, who are you? I'm the chief of protocol. What? Chief of what?
Chief of
no, listen up. She said, chief of protocol. Protocol.
You said, what did you say?
I'm the chief of protocol. The man said, what? She said, I said, I'm the chief of protocol.
They had a gay interpreter.
They call the interpreter. He said, oh no, she meant protocol.
Yeah, oh, really?
Oh, you mean she's the chief of protocol? Yeah. Oh, I thought she said protocol.
Forget the Fina will come for you.
I tell you, rescue mother coming from you. And then what happened? Then she went inside. Then she go lean in Joe. We are here. But see how long you be here now? We asked it, you better ask me that question. Whatever country is this, where Colasco is a Muslim by the same time and usher in the fucking clock church.
That's a good one.
Oh God, friendly go here. Whatever country is this, Colasco is a Muslim. By the same time, the man I usher in fucking clone church. Hey man.
Yeah. They can be happy to get offer the people seats.
That was a good one. That was a real good one. That was a good one. The man I usher my man.
Let's see what usher. And go to say, yeah, you can sit order.
Oh God. What type of country is this? Shaggy, hashtag. What type of country is this when a country sets up its citizens for failure? My entire life, I thought all SUV was called Jeep.
Until
some friends drove around the parking lot for about 20 minutes looking for me in a Jeep.
Not
not
knowing I
not
was
not knowing I was in a Ford Explorer. So you remember growing up,
That's
all
true.
we knew
Yeah,
Jeep,
that Jeep.
Jeep, and we
I mean,
knew
that's,
pickup. We
yeah,
didn't say pickup truck or truck. We
no,
just said Jeep.
yeah,
And
that's true. My man, the man got Jeep. Oh.
and the man said he was in a Jeep sitting there, going all around looking for him in a Wrangler.
My man, where are you, my man? See, my man, in a Jeep.
I said the in the black Jeep. You can see me.
Right in the black Jeep in the parking lot.
But
What do you mean the people going all around looking for the man?
You know, it's like when I came to the state.
So listen now.
Yeah.
So Flomo Livingston is saying, Colasco was saying in Allah, he said, we're going to throw the president up for his Elena will not go back.
That's a good one. I tell you, man, it was so hard, my man. Colasco just had to get as he, Allah. So the people looking at the man just going up and down, coming back. Man, all the white guy asked a friend, is he schizophrenic?
Oh man, I bet we gotta go.
Yeah.
We gotta go. I can't help it no more.
A great show,
Yeah. Hey, my people, yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Oh God.
We're gonna throw the man up all year again.
So
been here 4 hours now, my man.
Shaggy says, what type of country is this? When the president finally said the truth about his trip, he said he needed fruits. He was right. Rotting fruits.
Jesus.
You asking who president? The question of the man, why he asked the journalist, you asking who president? Who president before they brought you to the CIA and made you sweat? You got Colasco walking all around. Hey, Allah. Vinabondo go into the door. How the chief Apollo go? Musa Din was just sitting there. He even opened his mouth to say nothing. And what other man is that?
Of Justice?
Yeah, all the B-more they got.
Yeah, you the Minister of Justice. You say, yeah, but why have you got to say? Well, I ain't got nothing to say. And not the man you're talking to. Then the president said, but Musa, why are you talking like that? My man, don't make him buy it from you.
Oh God.
Jesus. This is interesting, man. Look, this is how we like to wrap you on the show, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. Listen, we want to thank everyone for showing up here tonight. Shaggy, it was good catching up. Flomo Livingston, Howard Soko. Just can't help it. It was just so much fun. Emmanuel Jackson said for Nantiko, we're pleading the blood of Jesus. Why? Yeah, we forgot Fonati was there. So he was pleading the blood of Jesus. Why? The last one was doing. That's a good one.
That's a good one too.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you.
Man. That's a good one, Emmanuel.
Thomas Happy had to squeeze this one in. What type of country is this? If cars can go there, the Eagle will go. And if airplane or airline can go, the aircraft will go. And the president
Can you imagine that? You know the difference between, you know that the one being is synonymous to car.
Aircraft.
Go.
Yeah.
Oh God, look.
Well, I think if I forget it, you don't give me a
Ramsfeder, he said they were shouting hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hey Allah. I plead the blood of Jesus. When I say, listen, gentlemen, we gotta go. My people, yeah, thank you so much. I can tell, thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming. It was a good one. Moses, like him, don't go because I need also have a quick talk after we go. So we leaving now. We leaving, my man. It's okay. We'd like to thank all of you for being there with us tonight here in the Issues Room, our 142nd edition. You can see my eyes all wet. This is how I get my own a little therapy, and I'd like to thank you all for contributing. Listen, we can't do this by ourselves. It's important that you guys come here and join us. Continue to share the word, invite others to join us here, spread the word. Uh, share our link. The broadcast is Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch us here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and LinkedIn. We can be seen in those different platforms. Moyu, Tommy, Nosiji, or Nosiji, rather, Mapu Hall, Flomo Livingstone, Montreal Kringa, Emmanuel Sumo, thank you so much for the contribution. Maria Gardell, hope you are still with us. Edward rather, Nifo, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Iratus Ade, Loja Kondo, Raymond Clark, Priscilla Myers, Minipele Sumo, all of you for coming through. Hawasoko, Adiaha Umo, thank you. Martina, Bea Plu Nyeno, thank you, thank you, thank you. Priscilla Myers, Ram Snodden, everyone who came through. Orlando Kringas will say thank you. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Johnson Colley and Thomas Awaji, of course, Ben O'Kerner for joining us. Ram Snotton and everyone else. My man, Amar Freeman, will say thank you. It was good keeping company with all of you here tonight. We'll be back here on Friday with another presentation. Good night.